Hello and welcome back to the YouTube channel for OQLIS, the data insights people. Today we will be talking about OQLIS's IoT module, which enables you to ingest data straight from an IoT device into OQLIS. To get started, we will need to come to the IoT module located here. Once you've clicked on it, you will be taken to a page that looks very similar to this one. From here, we will need to set up a username and password so that our IoT devices can authenticate themselves. We will need to select the destination connection we want our data to be ingested into, and a sync frequency to fetch and transform our data being sent. To start this process, we need to click on the settings button located here. This brings up a modal so that we can select our connection, our sync frequency, input our username and our password. The connection is just where we want our data to go to. So when we send data using an IoT device, where would we like our data to go to? Then our sync frequency just allows us to know how often we need to ingest our data into your connection stated above. We have to transform that data from an unstructured data type to a structured data type, and this is how often we do that. The username and password given here will have to be included in the header of the packet that is being sent by the IoT device. This is so that the IoT device can be authenticated on our network. Once these details have been entered and saved, we can come to this endpoint list here to add an endpoint that we would like to send to. This endpoint can be thought of as a destination you are going to be sending to. You can have one device or many devices sending to one endpoint. Now we're going to give our endpoint a name and, most importantly, a unique identifier. This can be anything, but it must be unique between all endpoints. Now that we've saved it, we come into our Edit Endpoint option. From here, we will need to add a recipe. A recipe is going to tell us how you would like to ingest the data. You will give your recipe a name, an entry point node, which I will show just now, and the destination table of where you would like this data to go into. This destination table does not have to exist yet. If it doesn't exist, we will create it and make sure we flatten the JSON structure that you are sending using your IoT device and insert it into this table. You could also link an existing recipe that you had created before. All you'd have to do is click on the link recipe here, and all the recipes that you have created will show up, and you can click on one of them and save. I would just like to demonstrate a very powerful feature of our IoT module. You can send data to an endpoint without having linked a recipe yet. To show you how this is done, I've set up a very basic post request. Here you can see our auth is set using our username and password that we created earlier. We base encode it, and we have the basic keyword here. Then we set a very simple data structure, which I'm going to be sending with the body of our post request. Our post request goes to our endpoints IoT endpoint.php file. Our body is sent to our endpoint grid, which we created earlier, which is unique. Our payload is just the data that we are sending through, and our auth header is just the basic auth that we created earlier as well. Once we have done this and sent our data, you can see we collect it here in our preview JSON packet. Let me demonstrate adding a recipe now. We can give it a name. Here, with entry point node, we could specify which exact node we want to enter on. So we could put data, and then everything underneath data would get ingested. We could put away team, and everything inside away team would be ingested. I'm going to leave this blank so that I ingest the entire structure into my destination table. I'm also going to give a simple name here. And now I'm going to click Save. We can see now that our table is destination table and our name of the recipe is just name of recipe. Let's go and check if the data has been inserted into our destination table. We need to go and get the connection we set up in our authentication. Give it a access level, although I'm not going to be saving it, so it doesn't matter. And now select from our table that we just created. Click Run, and there we have it. We have data flowing into the table, which is fantastic. Here's our away team that we sent and our home team that we sent, and a couple of other things that we keep on OQLIS side. Now you can use the rest of the features to analyze your IoT data as it comes into OQLIS. You don't have to leave the platform whatsoever to ingest and analyze your IoT data. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to get the latest updates regarding our software.